WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Nearly 2 children every minute of every day. That's the number of child abuse cases reported each year in the United States.
Those numbers also hit close to home. Just this week, abuse arrests were made in both Monroe and Webster counties. WCBI's Jory Talley is joining us in the studio with more on some of the signs of child abuse. Jory?
Andre and Joey, there's a fine line between child abuse and disciplining a child, and charges come when parents' actions go past that line.
Somebody has to protect these children when the parents do wrong. And I'm not saying that it is wrong to discipline your child in any way, shape, or form. You need to discipline your child in a reasonable manner.
There's a range of severities and cases.
A single parent household, it seems like it occurs more. I don't have any kind of stats to, back that up, but it does seem like it occurs more in that situation. That and households where narcotics are involved. Usually narcotics in that type of situations usually kind of come hand in hand.
Chief Deputy Jeff Mann says most cases they see involve parents being at their wits' end with their children.
It's bad to say, but I don't think any community is safe of it. And a lot of times what it boils down to is sometimes it actually is a decent person wanting to discipline their child, but they involve anger in the situation. And usually when they involve anger in the situation, that's when it escalates past what it should.
It's those cases which cross the line that hit home for law enforcement. Webster County investigator Landon Griffin has worked 2 child abuse cases since he started working at the Sheriff's Department a year ago.
Most child abuse cases that we have are coming in from family members, neighbors, aunts, uncles, grandmothers that know the family, that know something's wrong with it.
And have proof?
And some have proof, some just have allegations.
That's exactly how Griffin's second child abuse case unraveled earlier this week, when someone came by the Sheriff's Department with a video of Stephanie Wofford abusing her child, landing her in jail with 1 count of felony child abuse.
Felonious child abuse with some bodily harm did intentionally, knowing, recklessly, unlawfully, and feloniously cause bodily harm to a child.
Griffin says one of the keys to stopping abuse is for people to step forward.
If you know about child abuse, you've seen child abuse, and you know what's going on and you don't report it, you will be arrested for condoning child abuse also.
Wofford is still in jail on a $50,000 bond. Andrea?
All right, Jory, thanks so much. So there are different types of child abuse. It can be physical, emotional, sexual, or neglect. Sally Kate Winters Outreach Coordinator Heather Ussery says child abuse is not tied to any socioeconomic or racial background. However, there seems to be a common factor.
Anger, or, before you allow yourself to lose control, I think that's kind of when you approach crossing a line.
And you can find more resources on our website at WCBI.com.
A Neshoba County community is in shock after a woman is found dead inside a church. Sheriff Tommy Waddell says Brenda Strickland Pinter was found inside Dixon Baptist Church shortly before 6 p.m. Thursday. The sheriff says it appears Pinter was shot. She apparently was discovered by her husband when she didn't return home from cleaning the church. No gun was found at the scene, and investigators say there was no sign of forced entry. Right now, there are no suspects.
A Columbus man's new capital murder trial will begin next week. Derek Bankhead was convicted last September in Lowndes County Circuit Court, but Judge Lee Coleman overturned that verdict. Bankhead's attorney learned that District Attorney Scott Colon was a stand-in defense attorney for Bankhead during a preliminary hearing back in 2011. Columbus police say Bankhead's cousin, Eddie Bankhead, was shot during an armed robbery. That happened in July of 2011.
Well, if you're hanging around the jail, it's not really a good idea to be carrying drugs around. Josh Parsons of Iuka is charged with felony possession of a controlled substance and introducing contraband into a correctional facility. Investigators say Parsons was attempting to give meth to an inmate who was on yard call. Corrections officers confronted Parsons and held him until deputies arrived. Deputies searched him and found meth. Parsons is still in the Tishomingo County Jail awaiting bond. Time now to turn our attention to weather, and meteorologist Griffin Hardy is in with your first look. Griffin?
The clouds are rolling in ahead of the cold front outside in Columbus, and the sun is setting. We're still at 74 degrees outside for the moment. Some showers will make their way into the region later tonight. By 9 p.m. and 11 p.m., that's when the most of that will be here, but it'll make its way out of here after midnight. And for tomorrow, mostly sunny skies and much cooler temperatures, highs in the upper 50s. I'll look at your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot. A Mississippi Senate panel has removed the firing squad as a proposed execution option. The move comes in case the courts block the state from obtaining lethal injection drugs. Lethal injection is Mississippi's only execution method right now. The state is facing lawsuits that claim the injection drugs constitute cruel and unusual punishment. Earlier this month, the House passed a bill listing a firing squad, electrocution, and the gas chamber as possible alternatives. The Senate Judiciary Committee removed the firing squad language from the proposed legislation. Only Oklahoma and Utah have firing squads. Mississippi's last execution was in 2012.
Imagine, Inspire, Challenge. That was the message at today's IIC Symposium at MUW. There were keynote speakers there with separate panels covering various topics on pursuing degrees in math and science. Speakers focused on the rewards and the challenges of working in those fields. Practicing professionals as well as university and high school students attended today's presentation.
Students really interested in learning about what the opportunities are for them, and the truth is there are no doors. They can do or be whatever they want, and the W is a great place for them to learn that.
Dr. Taylor is an MUW graduate, and she's also the director of the Regenerative Medicine Research Department at the Texas Heart Institute.
An area library is closing out February with a Black History Month celebration. The Winston County Library held a special program with the theme, The Crisis in Black Education. It included presentations from guest speakers and a display of various artifacts. The displays were a result of a combined effort between the library and Ilamitra Eichelberger Patterson.
The Mississippi State Lady Bulldogs are having a banner year, attracting new fans and packing those stands.
When we come back, Quentin Smith meets some longtime fans who are ahead of the trend.
Welcome back, everyone. The Mississippi State women's basketball team is having the most successful season in program history. The Lady Dogs have been ranked in the top 10 most of the season.
Yeah, our Quentin Smith talks with fans and students about the success of this year's team, and he joins us live in the studio with more. Quentin?
That's right, Joey. This women's team is bringing a whole new level of excitement to the university. Crowds are packing the hump, and fans tell me so far this season has truly been unforgettable.
The Mississippi State women's basketball team is playing a brand of basketball that's giving fans everywhere something to cheer about.
I think it's the best. I look at people and say, hey, I go to Mississippi State. My team's like number 1, number 2. We're the best. We're great.
Just from like having classes with some of them and just hearing how they talk, like going through the off season, they was like they're going to have a real good year this year. And we got some bad girls on the team.
The team is currently ranked second in the coaches poll. They have 27 wins on the season, which is just one shy of the school record. And if they capture a W on Sunday, they'll have a share of the conference title.
When girls play, it's just outstanding to me. Like, I love to see when women can do what men can do.
The girls are very physical, which is fun to watch. And just to see them out-muscle and outplay everyone is very exciting.
However, the excitement hasn't always been this high. Just ask Martha Phillips.
I remember when we used to come, especially one Sunday afternoon, we were sitting there at halftime and counted 64 people in the stands.
Phillips and her 2 sons have been faithful fans of the Lady Bulldogs for over 2 decades now.
Well, I mean, we've always enjoyed them. It was special. Coach Fanning let us come to practice. The practices are open. And they were like big sisters to my sons. They were little, like 4 and 7.
Phillips says cheering on the Lady Bulldogs this season has been an incredible ride, and she's happy to finally see the women's basketball team reach this level of success.
Very happy for these young ladies, but also I hope all the other ladies from the past realize it's their win. Every win is all of them, because they all worked hard through the years to make us where we are.
Now, this Sunday will be senior day for the Lady Bulldogs as they take on the University of Tennessee. Tip-off is set for 4 p.m.
Got some showers forming way off in the distance west of I-55 in the Delta. I'll time out when you can expect some rain showers in your area later tonight and have your 7-day forecast for you coming up right after the break.
Your First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist Griffin Hardy.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this warm weather we're having. We're at 74 degrees in Columbus, but look at the cold air that's making its way into our region tonight. This is where the cold front is right here. The jet stream is basically doing that. And that's where we are right now. The warm air out in front of the jet stream has been sitting over top of us, but again, cold air on the way with the cold front that sweeps through later tonight, bringing with it some rainfall and a chance for some isolated thunderstorms before midnight. That's the main time frame with this. Exactly the time frame we'll show you right here, mainly affecting our western counties later on tonight by 8 p.m. That's when most of us will see the rainfall over there. And then by 10 and 11, that's when it'll affect our eastern counties. Maybe an isolated thunderstorm here and there. Could hear a little rumble of thunder, but mainly moderate to maybe some heavy rainfall. No severe threat with this. Mainly going to be seeing that cold front make its way out of here, and then the wind shift to the northwest overnight into Saturday morning. In the long range, we've got high pressure that's going to be situated over us for the weekend. Going to be pretty nice, a nice and sunny weekend, but a little bit cooler compared to today. And then our next rainmaker begins to form on the horizon Sunday evening. We won't see any rainfall for Sunday, but this low pressure system will make it towards us by Monday morning. You can see this moderate band of rainfall here. Then we'll get a break from that Monday afternoon, and then Tuesday morning is then we'll have another band of rainfall make its way through the region there. So that's our next rainmaker, and then we're expecting a little bit more rain again for tonight. Mainly again before midnight is when we'll expect the most rainfall, and getting a much colder or cooler, I should say, in the mid-40s for overnight lows, with winds shifting from the southwest to the northwest later tonight. Your highs for tomorrow, big difference compared to what we saw today. In the mid-50s for the Tupelo area, sunny skies across the board though. In the upper 50s for the Golden Triangle region, and then our counties in West Alabama, low to mid-50s there as well. So in your 7-day forecast, the weekend looks pretty nice. Got a lot of sunshine for Saturday and Sunday, but then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday got pretty solid rain chances. The best chance looks to be on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We've got that rain chance at 40%, and then Thursday and Friday, sunshine makes its way back into the region with highs turning seasonal once again back into the 60s.
All right, coming up, we recap last night's wild finish at Kentucky and have updates from Mississippi State and Ole Miss baseball. That's next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Updates from Starkville and Oxford. Brent Rooker having himself quite a day. His second home run just happened in the last few moments. He now has 8 RBIs in the game. The Diamond Dogs lead the Sycamores 11-0 in the 8th, but no lead really been saved with MSU. They gave up 10 runs to Morehead State in the 9th on Tuesday, so we'll keep an eye on that game. Ole Miss looking sharp against UNC Wilmington, 5-2 lead in the 7th. David Parkinson pitched well, but he's now off. Relief pitchers are on. We will continue to follow the Rebels and the Bulldogs. Highlights coming up at 10 here on WCBI Sports. Well, last night was a difficult loss for Mississippi State and head coach Vic Schaefer. As the Bulldogs battled back countless times on the road in a difficult environment, only to see their rally fall short. As Hail State Hoops dropped just their second game of the year last night at Kentucky, losing to the Wildcats 78-75 in overtime. Mississippi State had big gains from Victoria Vivians and Morgan William, who combined to score 47 of MSU's 75 points. Down the stretch, Kentucky made their living at the free throw line, hit big shots. Bulldogs' 22 turnovers ultimately dealt a big blow to MSU, and also they had to deal with foul trouble. Bulldogs have moved on, though. They're focused on Senior Day Sunday against Tennessee, as MSU still remains a win away from clinching a share of the SEC title.
4 years ago, these two young ladies, along with Bree and Katera, trusted our vision, believed in us, and came a long way from home to Starkville, Mississippi, to build a legacy, build a history. And they've certainly both been active participants in that. We've still got a lot in front of us. Our goals are all still in front of us still. Nothing's changed. We've got to go out and have a couple really good days of preparation and get ready for Tennessee.
Again, that game is on Sunday at 4:00 p.m. If you can't get to the game at the Hump, it'll be on ESPN2. Now, we posted an article online on our website right now at WCBI.com. There's going to be a lot of traffic and a lot of parking issues at Mississippi State coming up on Sunday for that women's basketball game, because at the same time, softball's playing, baseball is also playing, and tennis is playing. So MSU is going to provide shuttle services to different various parking lots around the campus. So if you want more information on that, go over to our website right now. Well, high school hoops take center stage tonight as all of our area teams are one win away from playing in the state tournament in Jackson. These are the boys' areas matchups. By the way, girls are playing tonight. Starkville, Tupelo, Holmes County Central, New Hope, and Oxford Canton are 6A, 5A. In 4A and 3A, Noxubee Shannon's going to be good. You also got Corinth, Ripley, and Newside playing. In 2A and 1A, there's some good games in 2A. Calhoun City, Baldwin, and Ingomar, Okolona. We have 5 area games in Class 1A as well, one of those being Mount Olive at West Lowndes. And then our girls' games tonight. We'll let you know which games we will be at tonight. We're going to be at all 3 of these games: Columbus, Starkville, South Haven, Tupelo, and Canton West Point. So we'll have those highlights at 10. In 4A and 3A, Ripley, Pontotoc, Itawamba, Lafayette, Amory, Leake Central, plus you got Newside, Boonville, Aberdeen, and Moorville at Velma Jackson. And lastly, in 2A and 1A, we will be at East Union at East Webster. So we'll have those highlights coming up tonight at 10. And you see a trove of other area teams, all one win away from playing in the state tournament in Jackson. The state tournament officially begins on Wednesday, and of course, we're going to be there because that's just how we roll. We go everywhere where our teams go, so we'll see you there if you happen to be headed there for the state tournament.
Busy times in the sports office.
It's always busy. Baseball, basketball.
And great weather, too.
Great weather. We'll be right back.
Nice shot of the sunset from Mickey Goggins and Lee Mall here in Columbus. Thanks for that picture, Mickey. Here's a last look at your 7-day forecast. Sunny and cooler for the weekend, but then lots of rain works its way into the forecast next week.
We get the warmth back, but the rain too.
At least you could do your yard work this weekend.
I can, and it will all grow right back. All right, thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Have a great weekend.